haven't seen you all in ages for some reason. It's very nice to see everybody. Just wanted to add that. I think I've just been so swamped that it's just, I don't know what's going on. I'll pass it to Mitch.
Hello. What am I working on? Just like bringing together the Impact Quest things, which is basically why I'm here. So basically planning how we're going to actually do this, building the relationships with the partners, trying to lock down some prizes, and then, yeah, the actual, like, again, the practical how part of it as well. So, yeah. And I will pass it on to Lauren.
Hey, yeah, I am. So for comms, I've just been like trying to pass off the tweets and the Twitter and just like overseeing Steve. And then the other thing is this like region guide for Gitcoin, which is just like seemingly like way more work than I wish it was, because it's like they basically want you to write every week like another section, and they want you to write like all these different types of drafts and things. It's like a writer's cohort, so it's supposed to like support you in your writing process to be a better writer and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't have time to be a better writer. Can I just like write the thing and be done? Anyway, I'm like, I'm like behind on that and feeling bad about being behind on it, and also just like have been taken up a little bit with like optimism grant stuff for QF, and so not related to comms, but sort of related to comms things. And I'll pass it to Ashley.
Thanks, Lauren. I guess my comms items that I have are mostly related to subdatification and communitas and how that relates to comms, and we talked about some stuff in the governance call with goals and things like that might overlap. So just to be here to talk about anything like that comes up. And then also anything ETH Barcelona, Impact Quest, or however I can help to. I'm preparing all my things. I'm packing my suitcase and getting ready to be in Barcelona with all of you, and I'm getting very excited for that. So that's also on my radar. I am not really too distracted, and I will pass it to who do we have here? Franco.
Thank you, Ash. What am I working on? Comms related. I'm still I need to start with documentation updates. I had a sync with Lauren, and I'm gonna do like a whole revised version of the docs. I'm gonna revise everything and start correcting stuff that are not up to date there. And I'm also here for Impact Quests. And I'll pass it to Nicola, who's right here.
Okay, hey, thanks, Franco. So I'm working on tweets for verified projects, round 38, and also about to be updating documentation for a verification process, some little bit more clarity in the specific section there. And I'm here to see what's going to happen with the questions and little ETH Barcelona things. Okay, passing it to... who didn't go?
Anna Marie.
Oh,
Anna Marie.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm still not working on like Giveth comms. I'm trying to get more involved. So I'm like attending calls and trying to see all the insights and how I can help you guys to like improve the comms. And that's it from my side. I think I'm the last one.
Yeah, I think so too. Thanks, Anna Marie. It's great to have you here. Okay. Let's start reviewing today's items. So we are going to talk about June, AI April-June. That's going to be streamed on Giveth's YouTube. We're going to cover and give some clarity about the GitHub planner, some latest forum posts, email analytics updates that Amad was mentioning, and the ETH Barcelona Impact Quest comms. So today we have many things to talk about. So some high-level overview and priorities. If you have one, please also feel free to share. So AI, sorry, AI in June is going to be live stream on Giveth's YouTube, and this is going to start Thursday. So there is an announcement right now. I'm almost finished with some copies that I'm going to share with Lauren and Steve so we can promote this. So basically what this means is that the second session for AI June is going to happen at StreamYard with outcome on YouTube. So yeah, just FYI for everyone. And if you could help us spread the word, if you share this link right here about the next streaming, that would be awesome. And for sure, Lauren, we can talk about QF. Then GitHub dashboard cleaning. So this I wanted to share with all of you. I've been doing some cleaning with the Giveth planning dashboard because there are some old issues that I'm not sure if we might just need to close those issues or put it on the icebox. So recently you might notice that I've been tagging you. So thanks for the ones that have helped me clarify if maybe we should just close that issue. But just FYI that I'm going to be tagging you to review the status of some of those issues. And also I wanted to ask you, as right now we're going to start working for working groups, there are going to be more issues coming up. So please, any new issue, please tag me, just that I have visibility on the work and to make sure that nothing is going or is falling through the cracks. So please tag me just so I know what's happening. And then I wanted to share this sub-DAOification recommendations and path forward that Mitch just wrote yesterday. Because as Ashley was mentioning in her check-in, there are some questions regarding how comms is going to work as a chapter not having its own KPIs. So Mitch just wrote this post about the way we could move forward. Mitch, do you want to comment something about it or just leave it for everyone to check it out?
Well, it seemed like people were having a hard time visualizing how it's going to actually work in practice. So maybe there's some points that are more clear. Like, yes, comms can have some KPIs, but it's like more for their own reference. It's not like every 3 months you need to put up your deliverables and like justify them to the DAO. It's like there's more flexibility. And they can have KPIs, but it's like, they're not strict rules. So I think that was like, people were like, oh, comms doesn't have any KPIs, so how are we supposed to track progress? It's like, well, like, yes, you can. And actually, this makes the chapter more flexible to do the things that it wants to do and support other people. So, and, there was some, like, I basically posted all of the problems there that I heard.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I don't know. I hope maybe that provides some more clarity to people who are like still aren't sure how these are all supposed to fit together.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think it's very clear. And also, I see that these bi-weekly stand-up Stuart is going to be hosted and facilitated by Griff. So that's cool. Yeah, I just put the link for you to check it out if you want to comment or add anything. And yeah, that were the high-level overview and priorities that I had for you. So now we're going to pass to review the ongoing efforts, but just wanting to know if someone has any other overview, high-level priority to add? If not, we can just move forward. Okay, cool. Let's start with the analytics and the email challenge that Ahmad is facing right now. So if you want to start, Ahmad.
Yeah, thanks. So I started compiling the high-level analytics that I think we should look at. I know that we did this a few times, but I think one of the problems earlier is we started looking at a lot of different things, and I think that was maybe something that made things a bit overwhelming, is we were looking at too many different data sources. So what I did this time was I just simplified it, and I thought about what are the most important things that I think are important for us. So I made a sheet here that I shared in the meeting notes. And yeah, if you want to open it up. But basically, there's in the sheet, there's a few different sections. One of them is basically just stats from the DApp, which is basically just like how many new projects do we have, how many donors do we have that month, and it's split on a monthly basis. I think like looking more than per month is not that useful for us at this stage, so I just did it on a monthly basis. So yeah, so this is basically just how many users do we have, how many donations did we get, what is the amount of those donations, and then we still need to add, yeah, like there are these other metrics that I mentioned here, like how many verified projects do we have, and what is the amount of the givebacks. I'm not sure if we should look at that, but I think it's interesting. So we may want to include those, but we would need to input those manually because I don't think we have those stored in a database somewhere. And then if you look at the other tab on the bottom, this is the site data, which is basically, it splits it by donation amount and what is the source of the data. So if you click on, yeah, site data on the bottom, the other tab. Yeah, so like, for example, you could see here, basically our three main channels are in direct traffic. So these are like returning users, SEO traffic. This is from Google search mainly, and social media. So social media includes Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, all like combined together. And we have about a 2% conversion rate on average for most of our channels. So basically that means that we need to get 50 users if we want to get one donation on average, looking at the whole site. So yeah, so it's interesting to look at. And I mean, for us, I think what's nice about our product, just looking at this on a high level, is we do have like a sticky product. So like once someone becomes a user, like it's obvious that they stay and they keep donating. But I think that the difficulty is like getting them to donate for the first time. So yeah, so I think like just looking at this, I think it would be useful to like think about how we can get more donors on the platform, especially. And then maybe we could also tie this to some of the stuff that we're doing at ETH Barcelona as well. If we could track like how many users did we get on the website and then how many of them donated. So we could easily do that if we just generate a unique link and like send them to a certain place. Like for example, I mean, even if it's not a landing page, like we could just say like go to giveth.io/ETH Barcelona, and then we could add like a tracking code on that URL. And it could just even send them onto the homepage or the project page. And then if we do that, we could figure out like how many donations did we get from the event. yeah, I mean, that's something just to think about that I think would make seeing how successful the impact quests were, and it would make it more trackable, basically. Because I think the last time we had some difficulty figuring out how many people donated through the impact quest from East Denver. So I think that would be useful if we figure out a way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, this is super useful. I think that we can have this tracking URL that you're saying, and then just add it to the different materials that we are going to be sharing at ETH Barcelona. So, for example, in the link tree in which we have our website and blah, I can just change it to this ETH Barcelona link. And then on the impact quest that we have links to, I can just add the same. So it would be like that, right, Amat?
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably make at least a Notion, right, for the impact quest, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on the Notion, we can just have those links, like add a code onto those links, basically.
Oh, great. Who can I ask for this URL tracking link?
Yeah, like you don't need to ask anybody. It's just it's like a piece of code that you add to the end of the URL.
Okay.
I'll share it. Yeah, like I'll let you know how to do it, but it's super easy.
Okay.
It's this like it's a Google tool. So let me. I'll share it here on the chat. Basically, it's this thing.
Perfect. Okay. I'll check it out and then make sure to add it to all our materials to track this. Especially for these Barcelona works. Oh, this is great. Thank you so much. Before going into the email updates, does anyone has something to add around the analytics?
And nothing to add. I just wanted to say that that's really cool and this is super useful. Thank you so much, Ahmad, because yeah, my brain doesn't work like this, so I'm glad that one of our brains works like this.
Yeah, thank you so much for this, Ahmad.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I hope it's useful. Yeah, and I think just like knowing on a high level, like how we did like each month, I think would be useful for us.
Exactly. Just to track whatever we're doing. Okay, and then moving forward with the email. Yeah, I think that you're right. There's a lot, so of course we can support you, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's not. Yeah, so there's like 3 things left for this task. One of them is just auditing all the existing journeys. And yeah, there's like 60 that are active. So I'm just going through each of them. And there's some duplicate ones, and yeah, like there's some weird stuff happening. So like part of it is just going through all of it. And then there's also things that we need to add, like for example, give power notifications. So that's something that I'm talking to the dev team about. Like they added some in the notification center, but they didn't add up to Segment yet. And then the third thing is there's a bunch of these campaigns that we want to start doing, like the onboarding sequence, for example, and like a few other things. So yeah, those will be like done after we figure out all the other stuff, basically.
Mm-hmm. Did you saw this comment that who was it? Kai tag you saying that they could help?
Yeah. I mean, from what I saw, he said it was basically looking for a alternative to Segment mainly because I think Segment is getting expensive. So he was looking for another solution for tracking events mainly.
Tracking event. I talked to Kai yesterday and he said that Segment is hard to replace, but maybe autopilot is like a different option. Because it seems like that's your biggest point is like that relationship between Segment and autopilot is just like really weird.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it does have some issues. Like sometimes the events don't work like you think they do. And also like you need to add each one as like a custom event. It doesn't have like a drop down or anything. So that's a bit weird. And like you have to like test everything out on your own. But I think, yeah, I mean, now like the main thing is not that autopilot is not working. It's just like there's a bunch of other stuff in there was done before. And it's a bit like, yeah. So, I mean, like the problem is not really like a technical one where it's not working. It's more just like, it's kind of a mess, you know? So like, even if we were to switch to something else, we'd still have to clean everything up. So I think, yeah, I mean, it is worth exploring other solutions, but I think we still need to clean things up.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. So glad that you are aligned with that discussion. Because honestly, I didn't know what does that mean. So I'm glad that you guys have it covered. And okay, also let me know if we can support you with something regarding autopilot. Just it's a lot, so maybe if we can help you moving forward with this. Yeah, just open an issue or ping the team. Or whatever you need.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll do.
Anything else regarding autopilot or analytics that someone wants to add? Or we can just move forward. Okay, cool. Let's go for ETH Barcelona Impact Quest comms, because honestly I still feel kind of lost in these. And we're less than 2 weeks for the ETH Barcelona event. So I have some notes here. First, this issue that Mitch opened that I think it tries to put together everything happening with ETH Barcelona Impact Quest. And then we need to do some things, update the information on the Notion with the new Impact Quest. Including changing this design. Then other things that I have in mind, draft some copies for each partner, draft some copies for each organization that's going to be participating. Do we need to draft also, do you think that some posts around each quest? I don't know. Draft also some communications to share to our partners for them to promote the quest and also for the Giveth Galaxy to promote them. Gathered some Telegram groups, and do we need printing materials explaining the Impact Quest? So those are some of my questions. First, maybe Mitch, could you give like a high level overview of like the state of Impact Quest, maybe? Especially about partners, if that's ready or what's going on.
Well, same as last week. We've got 3 partners: Aragon, ETH Barcelona. Oh, I still have to chase ETH Barcelona. And Keep Key. Green Pill looks like they're gonna send stuff to us. ENS, I still have to work it out with them. And I think Ethic Hub is just no. So, I mean, I have it all updated in the doc that I shared with you.
Perfect.
In Notion. And then Yeah, so still waiting on those, and then you have some prizes. We can give away some nice tokens too to people virtually so they can get swag. And Santi and Franco went through and added in all the details, so. But I mean, there's lots of info there. I just, specifically, what else do you need to know?
Okay, so you were saying that in this issue that you would like to start promoting next week. So having in mind that we might not have all the partners ready, then the plan could be start just promoting the partners that we have right now plus the quest. So that will work?
Better than nothing. Better than waiting, I think.
Okay.
Just start promoting at least what we have.
Okay. And then with the orgs, same, right? Here are each of them, and then we have the ones confirmed. We have 2 confirmed. So I don't know. Do we feel that this is enough just to start promoting? Honestly, I do not feel like sure about that.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot.
Uh-huh.
But this is what we got.
Right.
I think we can still make some basic tweets, just kind of like impact quests are coming. Like, will people be able to start doing the impact quests already next week? Like, they can start donating to the projects, right? And are we gonna be putting the Barcelona projects as like our featured projects on Giveth and like with a filter and everything?
The thing is, we don't really have many. Like, we don't have the same advantage where we had before, where we could just like filter the giving block and get all those organizations. So all of our outreach to have local Barcelona projects is very organic. I have a call with a lady from one organization, but still, I don't know. I really don't know how many local Barcelona projects we have.
Yeah, I think we have some though. I mean, like, we can at least put Giveth House, Catalan DAO, like, I think there are some that exist already on there, you know?
I mean, even you could just put
10 or 5.
Yeah. And like Maravilla is like, okay, it's there, it's not verified, but like you can donate to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So no worries if it's not verified yet, we can just include it. Okay. That's cool.
I hope it will be, but yeah. And the Giveth House, and like you said.
Yeah. Perfect. And then the way that we did it for Denver, Ash, it was that we just used Notion to feature the projects, right? We really didn't create a filter on the website.
I think there was a filter for Denver projects, but yeah, we made a Notion with all the pages, with all the projects on the page.
You're so quiet, Ashley. I don't know what you did.
Yeah, I don't know, but we cannot hear you.
It's better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that we did make a filter for the Eat Denver ones, or I'm trying to recall. I think honestly maybe we just made the Notion page with the images and had links to each of their Giveth projects from the Notion page.
Yeah, I think we only did the Notion page. I can't remember. Okay. Well, then on the Impact Quest Notion that we have right now, let's just do the same and add the projects. I can start doing that. And then the other thing that I really think that's very important before start even promoting is the quest. So we have the ones that we did for Denver. So I know that the majority is going to stay the same. We just need to change the images. Ashley, do you have some updates from Rodri around the images, the new ones?
Rodri has been sick, but he told me he would have something for me to show in the call tomorrow.
Perfect. And then with the quest, maybe you and I can get together and have like a hacking session for this to be just like review and ready to go.
Yeah, let's do it. And I think that a lot of this stuff can be reused or whatever, but yeah, let's get it all ready to go and then put the right art in there. Can you send me that? Where did you find? Can you send me the link? Or is it
For
just
the this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I think I have this one. There was another.
Yeah.
Remember that thing that we printed out in Denver that had like all of the images with the quest information? Is it just because we deleted it from that page or?
Yeah, that's actually something that I wrote in our notes for discussion today. I can print some materials before getting to Barcelona with the quests, but I don't know. I feel that just printing the quest might not be as effective. So wondering
I'm just curious. Sorry, I'm just curious mostly to reference it in the like we can just kind of copy and paste some of that stuff that we made before, but I'm finding that document that we made that we printed out. It was
yeah.
Now we have modified the document, right? So we like deleted some of that stuff so we can't find it again, or
the one that we print, I think that it was a separate one that I think you made in other place. We really didn't have it in the Notion.
I thought it was in the Notion, but maybe we just deleted them as they went away. Anyways, I don't know. Let's talk some more about how we can create this better and make it friendly.
Okay. And how does everyone feel about having some printing on this? It makes sense to have something printed for us to share?
Yeah, it was nice because like when we didn't have internet, for example, it was like a sheet of paper that they could like take away with them, or it had like a code, or they could like pick it up and read it. It seemed to be useful.
Yeah, it was nice having a list of that, and it was also nice having like the ones that we went and hung up like in the bathrooms and in different places like that to just let people know with the QR code, and they can scan it and bring it up right there.
Yeah. You cut a little bit, Ashley, at the beginning, but you were just agreeing on this, right?
Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my sound. I was saying I think it was also nice to have like the little half sheets that we cut in half and we were like hung up in the bathrooms and at the different like places where people were converging to just show them with the QR code, and then they could go to the landing page from their phone.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Then maybe I can print something here because it's cheaper and I can find maybe a better material. Can we still add that in the budget, Mitch? Like printing some of these things?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be cheap, no? You're just printing paper.
Yeah, maybe something a little bit nicer. But yeah, I still I think.
What do you mean nicer? Like nicer paper?
Yeah, like nicer paper.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what? It'll be like $10.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm going to check that out and then just share it with you. But I guess so. I don't think it would be expensive. Okay. So for these, the next steps to move forward is we still need to figure out partners, organizations. So then just draft some general tweets to start promoting what we have, finish the Notion page. And for the Giveth project, same, we're just going to add this Notion. and ask Rodri for the images. For this, just having a hacking session between you, Ashley, and me. Anyone that wants to join, for sure, is welcome. And then with this in mind, we can just start promoting next week. Does everyone agree? Does this sound like a plan? Something else that you want to add? Or some support that you might want for partners or organizations? Or you have it covered?
I think it's fine. I think this is fine. We'll also have, where is it? Rallion will be promoting us. They've got a really cool UI for doing quests. Let's see if I can't. Let's see if I can't show this to you guys right now. But yeah, so we'll be able to promote the Impact Quest through their app that all the attendees will have access to. Here, I just sent a little video. So I need to give them a list of the quests and the partners. And it'll be like this cool mobile app.
Oh, wow. This is cool. Welcome to ETH Barcelona. So this will be a mobile ETH Barcelona app then. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and so you can see there's like a menu of different quests, and then Giveth will be one of them, and then we can like redirect people to what we're doing with the Impact Quest.
So there will be more projects making quests.
This is just a demo they sent to me, so I don't know how many actual people are going to be using this app, but I think that was their idea.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Nothing much for us to be concerned about, but I'll just provide them with information and they'll promote us as well.
Okay. Perfect. Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I think that I have our way to move forward more clear now. Honestly, I was a little okay, and then someone else wants to add something, or if not, we can just move to quadratic funding. Okay, let's just forward. Lauren, if you want to give an overview about quadratic funding.
Yeah, so I'm working on this fundraising thing. Basically, we're requesting some funds from Optimism to bootstrap the matching pool, or basically just like add an extra boost to the matching pool. And as I'm writing it, I'm like, oh man, quadratic funding is coming like really, really soon. And I think that we should like start to at least think about the way that we're going to be communicating it, because it's basically its success is in its ability to like get more donors and more projects on to Giveth. So the development of things should be finished by July, and we're looking at either running rounds at the end of July or very beginning of August, or then it would be like until after Burning Man. It would be in September, like mid-September. So before that, so basically like in the next like few weeks, there are like a few things that we need to do. Like one is, raising funds for the matching pool. The next would be communicating the eligibility requirements to projects. And then like getting them to add their Optimism address and get them to join in the round. And then we'll need to have, resources for projects around what to expect in the rounds, like how much matching funds will be raised. So we're going to need to like have emails and tweets and basically just like comms campaigns around this. I also spoke with Ben West who works with Gitcoin about the fact that we're coming up with these rounds soon. Gitcoin is going to be running their next QF round. I don't know if it's called the Theta round or what, but like the next Gitcoin Allo protocol round is going to be in August, and he was saying that like, well, we should basically not run it at the same time as Giveth and as Gitcoin. And then he was also saying that like we can leverage their comms and they will communicate about our QF rounds if it's like either before or after theirs, like especially if we did it after. I think it's like they'll be kind of like sending out emails to people being like, thanks for participating in the round. Did you know also that Giveth is running around? It's starting on these days and no. So like coordinating with Gitcoin around making sure that our comms messages are in their communications as well is going to be important. And anyway, it's like I just wanted to bring it up in this call to fill everybody in on like where we're at for QF, because it's just starting to be like, oh, it's fast approaching. Even like, and we still have time at this point. It's not next week, but like it would be like, okay, like in a month we'll need to have like a bunch of like stuff organized. So yeah, I guess I just wanted to like put all those things there and we can like start creating issues, and then also just like get any feedback from people or any questions. Does anyone have any like questions around QF comms or any like suggestions of things that we could do to also make it more successful?
Just have a question. So you mentioned about the fundraising that's also happening right now, right? Or or admins need to prepare comms also for that, for the raising funds.
Yeah, we could start also preparing some comms for the raising of funds. Basically what we're doing for the fundraising is we're going to be looking for, we're calling them QF catalysts. QF catalysts are going to be like Gitcoin calls them the funders league. These are the people who donate to the matching pool. And the idea is that they like kind of like catalyze more impact. So Griff and Breachies are working on basically a partnership agreement. Like we're going to be offering people who donate to the matching pool, like real estate on their QF banners. And we're going to be offering them some other things. I don't really know because they haven't like finished that proposal, but like what we would need to do like kind of from a comms perspective is like after somebody like commits a certain amount to the matching pool, we'll need to like prepare partnership tweets showing their projects, or even just like letting people know that like these opportunities are available. And we can also be trying to get like just anybody to donate to the matching pool on Giveth, because those funds will as well then like go into the QF round. We're trying to raise $25,000 equivalent for distributing these funds, and they're going to be distributed on Optimism.
Okay.
I think that was my question. So, the matching funds and the donations, the QF rounds, it's only happening on Optimism chain?
Donations can happen on any of the 5 chains we have supported on Giveth. And we're going to be tracking all the donations. Basically, it's like if you're a verified project and your project address is included on that chain, people can donate to you on that chain. But projects will need to have an Optimism address in order to receive matching funds, because the matching funds will be distributed on Optimism.
Okay.
Your mic is still weird, Ashley. I didn't hear the very last thing you said, but I think it might have been agreement.
No, we can't hear you. Your mic is really weird.
It's like,
yeah. Oh wow, this is for sure. We should start planning some issues for this, and I think that the best way to move forward is, as you mentioned, yes, for sure, open the issues, and then maybe I can check the info that you have right now. Do you have like a Notion in which you have all the details of the project?
Kind of all over the place at the moment. Like Griffin Breachies are working on a Google Doc that's going to explain the benefits for people who donate to the matching pool. And then we have this like Optimism proposal that we are working on right now that has a bunch of information, and then a lot of it just like exists in the abyss of my head. So I think like I should probably add context to the issues, or I can prepare something like a Notion doc that kind of like has like key points for comms. Maybe that would be the easiest, right? I could like put like a Notion doc together of kind of like explaining and adding links to things where people could learn more, and then like we can use that as a base point to then create issues, and also a reference point for people who are working on those issues.
Yeah, perfect.
Can you
Yeah,
hear
I
me
think-
better now?
Yes, we can.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm just saying, like, this is going to be huge, actually. Like, if we want projects to be participating in QF and they have to have an optimism address in order to receive this, like, that's a big thing.
I know.
This is a big thing that communications is going to need to somehow say to all of these projects because, yeah, most of our projects don't have an optimism address.
Mhm. Yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead, Lauren.
Totally. I mean, I totally agree with what Ashley's saying. And like, we also have that like incentives for verified projects who add their OP address. Like, there's an incentive, like, it's like extra incentives for adding optimism. You'll get matching funds in QF rounds. You'll become eligible for QF rounds. And also, you will get like, just this OP bonus as before. I think that like, for Gitcoin matching, for Gitcoin rounds, like projects jump through like all kinds of wild and crazy hoops of like connecting things and paying tons of money and gas that like, I think that we won't have too much trouble getting people to just add an optimism address, but like it needs to be really well communicated and we should probably start like soon being like, these are the eligibility requirements. If you want to participate in these rounds, they're going to be coming around this time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most projects who already have a MetaMask connected, they're eligible. Like, MetaMask will work with Optimism, right? They can use the same address.
Yeah, totally. But they will need to add it to their
Right.
project.
And what about Taurus users?
I think Taurus users can. I don't know if Taurus supports Optimism, actually. I thought it did. Does it not?
I'm not sure. I'm just curious, like, if I'm going to be supporting a lot of project owners to be adding Optimism addresses, some of our project owners are Taurus users, so I'm just curious if that's...
I imagine that Taurus supports Optimism. Like, I can't imagine that it wouldn't, because you could just import your Taurus keys into MetaMask and then have access to all the chains at the same address, right? So I imagine it would, but we should check.
Wow. Perfect. And then also, Ashley, I think that would be important to align to plan some communitas actions, maybe workshops, maybe, I don't know, some events that we will need to organize to give some clarity around this. So maybe we can talk in our, like, how can we move forward with communitas as well.
Yeah,
And
that's
also,
a good idea.
yeah, and also maybe I would love to have some videos around this. I don't know, to talk about this, but maybe some like content with videos explaining this will be easier for projects. So yeah, also maybe we can align on the details if that's possible. 'Cause that for this it would be better to have like visual content.
Yeah, I think we can have a video. I mean, I think so. We're going to try to include 50 projects. I mean, this is what I'm thinking, 50 projects in the round. And they're basically, they need to be verified. They need to have an Optimism address. And then like the last deciding factor is going to be give power. It's like the top 50 boosted projects. And so we need to basically like kind of like set a deadline and be like the top 50 projects starting at like on this day, like when all the rankings rearrange, will be the ones like in the QF round. So there's some projects that would like automatically become part of the QF round without thinking about it at all. But otherwise, like projects in the time leading up to it just kind of like need to like boost their project with give tokens and need to add their Optimism address and get verified.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so many details. Okay.
So many details. So we can use it like from a comms campaign perspective of like, do you want to be part of QF rounds? Like, try to get verified now, because it's like we need time to review their applications. It's like projects need to have, like, we should say like projects need to have their verification applications in by this date in order to possibly be eligible, So like we need to kind of prepare this information. I think like what Gitcoin did is they had a Notion doc that had the eligibility requirements and said like all the things you had to do with all the dates. So we should create that. We should distribute it to our email list. We should put it out on Twitter. And yeah, and we need to just like basically also finalize the dates of like when we will run QF. Just Yeah. Right now, it's like, I don't know. I think aggressively it would be end of July, but I think realistically it would be beginning of September because end of July is like kind of soon and things aren't like fully tested and we don't fully have the matching pool. I'm not sure if it will be all ready by then. And then we can't do it in August basically because we don't want to overlap with Gitcoin. And I'll be at Burning Man, but like we can't overlap with Gitcoin. So I think it would be nice to leverage Gitcoin's communications and get them to like send people our way after they run their next round.
Mm-hmm. Totally. That would be the best. And also I think that Gitcoin or someone was helping with this, right? So it's kind of like partnership with them in order to create Giveth's QF.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah. We got some support from Gitcoin, but not too much. Like we have Gitcoin Passport integrated. Yeah. But other than that, like yeah, and we use like their old code for the estimated matching and stuff like that.
Okay.
But you were saying that they would add us to like comms campaigns of their rounds and saying, well, afterwards, like sending people to us, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was just talking about our QF with Ben West, and he was like, "Yeah, we'd love to. Like, we're always looking for ways of supporting grantees between rounds. So, like, another way that they could support grantees is be like, hey, like the round is over, but like your fundraising opportunities aren't over. Have you added your project to Giveth yet? There's running a QF round on this date. You have to do it by this date or whatever. You know, something like that."
Yeah, and that's the support you're talking about, right, Almond? Having those
Exactly.
comms campaigns. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks, Lauren. This is super exciting, and I agree that we should start preparing this. We can start with this Notion doc for us to have like more clarity, and then start opening the issues, at least for the Notion creation that you mentioned with all the dates, and comes for emailing and at least the first like donate to the matching pool or verify your project or like this early stage parts of QF.
Agreed. Yeah. So I can create an issue for that and assign myself to just create that preliminary thing, and then I'll loop you guys in and we can go from there.
Okay. Cool. Someone else have something else to add? I think this is super cool. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for coming. I will be organizing a little bit the agenda and then adding some next steps to the for everyone to have more visibility. And see you next week.
Thanks, Almond.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.